Things, everyone. I know you've been stuck at home just like we have for quite a while already. Spring break here at least is pretty much over, which means you would normally be going back to school, but instead you're going to be staying home just like we are. So that's really weird, but we're going to keep on moving and see if we can get outside and show you guys some Wild Things stuff today. So for this episode, and every episode after this, you're going to need the following things. You're going to need some kind of a piece of paper, a sketchbook, a painting book, something like that, to keep track of your observations. And you're also going to need at least a pencil, black pen if you can find one, something to color in, whether it's colored pencils or crayons or markers or something like that. Otherwise, I like to use watercolor paints. That's my watercolor paint set there.
And a paintbrush.
And a paintbrush. I guess you need that if you're going to paint. So go ahead and pause the video, go find your stuff, and we will be waiting right here for you to come back. Okay, you're back. I hope you could find some supplies that will help you with today's activity, because today in our first episode you're going to have a chance to email me pictures of your artwork, which will count towards the prizes, the points for the prizes that I'm going to send out for everybody who participates. So we're starting off inside today in our sunroom. This is an area of our house that looks out over our property where we spend a lot of our time, and where we're going to show you during these Wild Things shows some things for you to observe on our property. So we've got our woods all the way down to the creek and some special places beyond that. And we're going to introduce you to all those places. So just like you guys probably have your own special places that you can think of, try to think of somewhere that really means a lot to you and that you know little special nooks and crannies in those areas. Maybe it's a park that you like to go to. Maybe it's your yard or your property or somewhere like that. It might even be inside your house or in your grandma's house or somewhere like that. So as we go along today, I want you to be thinking about how you would give a tour of your special place, just like we're going to give you a tour of our special place. Think of all the things you would want to show somebody if you were going to give a tour of somewhere, hopefully outside, but if not, somewhere inside, to all the rest of the wild things that are watching these videos. So we're going to start off by heading outside and show you some of the stuff that's going on here today, and then we'll come back in and do an activity. So here we are in the backyard. We just came out from the sunroom, and we're going to go check out some stuff that's going on. Luckily today, something a little bit exciting is going on. We are boiling sap today. Well, I should say my husband Tom is boiling sap today. So let's go see what that looks like. So here we are at our sap boiling station on the side of our house. This is something that Tom came up with so that we can have syrup. We can tap our maple trees in the springtime, and in the springtime sap starts to thaw out and run in the trees. And if you can drain some of that sap out and boil it, you can make syrup to go on your pancakes. So this is the third time he's doing it. How many gallons of sap does it take to make 1 pint of syrup?
About 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. Depending on the trees and the species of trees, it can even take a lot more.
So in other words, he's going to stand out here all day because it takes a long time to boil lots of sap to get one little jar of syrup for our pancakes. So this is his job for the day, is to stand here. Sai, what does it smell like? Can you describe it? Andy, come and show them what it looks like.
Why is Junie eating the wood?
It's all steamy. It smells like
burnt wood.
No, well, it smells like campfire, but it also kind of has a sweet smell to it.
Like syrup. It's
like sort of like hot syrup. All right, let's go down to another special spot on our property. All right, here's the second spot that's important to us on our property. This is our chicken coop slash goat house slash duck house. We have some animals here. This is S'more. She's got some fur on her horn because she's been scratching herself, and it makes she scratches herself with her horns and it gets on her horns. This one is Eater because she eats everything.
Not everything, Mom. That's a myth. The goats don't eat everything. She just eats a lot.
Okay, so the funniest one in our chicken yard is Dr. Goof. I'm going to try to catch Dr. Goof. Just a second. Where is he?
Should I put a June bug down?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, look at this. Look, did you see S'more doing that?
Well, S'more and Eater bye. We're going to go to the next spot. This is special place number 3, our oak tree. My favorite tree in the whole world is right here. When we first moved in, we put up this tire swing for the kids to play on, and they used to play on it every day. Not so much anymore. So that's special place number 3 on our property. Let's go check out the next one. We're standing on special place number 4. What's this? Doesn't look like much right now, but it is a prairie, and it doesn't look like much because we just burned it the other night, because burning prairies helps the prairie plants, the native prairie plants, to come back a little bit more each time. So this is our special place number 4. We call it Bailey's Prairie, and it's named after one of our old yellow lab dogs that we used to have. She was a sweet old girl, and this is a beautiful prairie, just like Bailey was a beautiful dog. Spot number 5. Why do we call it the whalebone tree?
Because it's made of whalebone. I'm just kidding. It actually looks like a whale skeleton.
We like to come out to the whalebone tree and climb and have picnics. Let's go on to spot number 6. Muddy here at spot number 6, which is Turkey Creek. We had some high water after a rainstorm, and it's all mud. But anyway, this is our absolute favorite place to come and play, is in Turkey Creek, right outside our property, number 6. Should we go to number 7?
Spot number 7, the raccoon tree.
Spot number 7 is the raccoon tree, and we call it that because over the years we've seen lots of baby raccoons born in this tree, and then they climb out and we've seen them wandering around. So We like Raccoon Tree because it overlooks Turkey Creek down below. And also, it's a nice woodland area, and there's lots and lots of these little plants that are starting to come up now. And even though I have a cold, I can smell them from this far away. What do they smell like to you, bud?
Wild onion.
Yeah, they smell oniony because those are called wild leeks. They're like onions.
They're wild onion.
Yep. All right, on to last but not least, spot number 8. Last but not least is spot number 8. And all that is the trail back to our house. Si, I'll race ya. All right, we're back inside now from our tour of the area. And we showed you all the special areas we like to look at on our property and on the area around our property. So I hope you were thinking about all the special places that you want to tour the rest of the Wild Things and me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a map. The reason I showed you all those special locations like the whalebone tree and the raccoon tree and the creek is because I want to show you on a map how they look from the air. So maps are often laid out, or mostly, almost always laid out, as if you were a bird flying over the land and you're looking down and seeing different landmarks. So I want you to imagine you're a bird too. What kind of bird are you going to be? I'm going to be an eagle. I don't know what he's going to be. Hummingbird? Anyway, maps are neat because they can be something that's taken from very far away, like you see on Google Earth. If you want to come over and show this map, this is a map that I found on the Johnson County website that shows our property. So here's our property right here, and here's the creek that we showed you. And I know that the whalebone tree is right in here somewhere, and the raccoon tree is right about right here. And then we have our house and our chicken coop and different places like that. So this is a map that's taken from very far away. You can also do more close-up maps. Here's a map that I drew one day when I was at the whalebone, or at the raccoon tree. This is a map of Turkey Creek looking down. And I marked some areas that I thought were important, like here's Turkey Creek, here's a spot we call the Narrows, and here's a spot where a log fell over the water and we can climb across that. There's some riffles. There's some areas where beavers have been chewing on trees. I know my handwriting is horrible, but I can kind of read it. So anyway, that's a very close-up map. So what you're going to do is draw out a map of your special place, and that's what you'll send to me. All right, I'm going to get started drawing mine. You can watch. First thing I'm going to do is draw our house. This doesn't have to be any special perfect drawing or anything. It's just showing something that represents our house. Here's the sunroom sticking out of the back where we are right now. This is the roof, and we're looking out this way. So right over here was one of our first special place, which was the sap boiling area. Then I'm going to go down here and draw another building, which is the chicken coop. And I'll come back and label those later. One thing you want to do with maps is try to label things kind of the same way. So when I want to put in a special tree, I think I'll switch to green for trees. And here is that special oak tree that I talked about with the swing on it. So I'm going to do this to represent an oak tree, or a big tree that's important to me. Okay, I know there's another tree over here that's important to me too. There's two of them that I really like. So I'm going to make sure they're on my map. Right here. This one's actually a dead tree, and here's another dead tree right down here. All right, let's switch colors to yellow for Bailey's Prairie. I know that when I look out my windows here and look straight down the hill, I can see Bailey's Prairie right down here. So we'll call that Bailey's Prairie. Let's get Turkey Creek in there. I think I'm running out of space. And it kind of winds around, comes down here, winds back up, it kind of comes down. It's kind of a twisty creek. So we'll do this. Again, this isn't perfect. You might want to take more time. I'm just doing it fast so you can see how it works. Some of the other areas that I showed you, the whalebone tree, that's a dead tree, so we'll draw that in brown. And that's way over here. It's the whalebone tree. We'll kind of draw him out here. He's got two trunks.
Wait, there's a third one, like, at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, we're just being kind of simple. Okay, I know that there's a hill right above, there's bluffs right above the whalebone tree. And all this area is downhill, so we're gonna kind of skirt up here. What color should we do our trail? How about this color? Our trail starts kind of right down by this tree, and it winds around, maybe with a dotted line. We can represent that with a dotted line. It comes around through the trees, goes downhill behind the prairie, and all the way down where it meets up with another trail. This trail comes up right next to the prairie, up towards the house. So this is the trail. So one thing maps usually have is a compass. You might have to ask a parent what direction is which at your special place.
Should I go get a compass?
Nope, I don't need a compass because I know that this direction in my drawing is east. And I know this direction is north. What's opposite of north? South. Opposite of east is west. All right, let's label these areas. So we have the house, we have the sap boiling area, we have Mother Oak Tree, that's what I call her. We have a couple other trees I'm not going to label. We have our chicken coop.
Do you want to draw Dr. Goof? You don't have to, but you can.
Or label Turkey Creek. We'll label Bailey's Prairie. What have we forgotten? The whalebone tree.
Our trail.
Our trail. And another trail. Sometimes I want to represent that there might be some bluffs. So right along here, off of our trail, there's a series, it's just a big steep drop off, and we wouldn't want someone to walk off the end of that. They'd fall a long ways. So this is all bluffs. Bluffs. You might want to put that in a couple areas. If you want to show what kind of grasses or trees are around, we can just make little representations. All this area is trees and forests. Okay, last but not least is the map key. And every map has a key, and that tells the person looking at the map what the different symbols on the map mean. For instance, all these little trees I drew, you can't hardly tell they're trees, but we would put a little symbol right here under map key, and that tells the person looking at the map this represents forest ground. If we wanted to tell them what this meant, this means that this area has grasslands. We might want to let them know. We could add some little things in here with blue colors. That represents water. Got the hiccups, bud? And then we want to show what the bluffs mean, because we don't want anybody to fall off the bluff. So guys, this is a very, very simple map. And I know that what you're going to send me is going to be much more artistic and detailed. I just wanted to do something very fast to show you kind of what I had in mind. But I cannot wait to see what maps you send to me, whether it's of your house, your yard, a park, whatever place is important to you. Map it out. If you want, you can even write about what these different things mean. Like if somebody saw a whalebone tree on my map, they would have no idea what that even meant unless I wrote it down and explained it. So feel free to write out a paper to explain what your map even means and why it's important to you. So you're going to see my email address at the end of this video. If you need to pause it to write down my email address, have your parents send me an email with your picture of your map attached, and I'll keep track of your name for the prize. Thanks guys, see you next time.